run for the trail, 7K up in Dilltown on the Ghost Town Trail. Finished second overall, first Masters in, I think, 25:53. I think it might have been a PR for the course for me. Out of like the 6-7 years that I've done it, or 8 years, whatever the case may be. Pretty sure that was the fastest, if not one of the top 2 fastest times that I've put down for this course. It was definitely another hot one today, but it wasn't as muggy and humid as it usually is. I think it was 84 when I got out of the vehicle, but the humidity itself wasn't horrible, so it didn't kill your energy as much as it usually does, so I'm thankful for that. But I also did wet myself down pretty good with water beforehand. Even though I went shirtless, I was still pretty soaked in my shorts and my hat, so that kept me cool before the race started. Did get here a little early, got to talk to some people and stuff like that, so it was kind of fun. Saw some friends today. Wasn't sure what to really expect coming in. Wasn't expecting much. You know, I'm always hoping to win a race, but I really didn't think I was going to today, so my expectations were a little bit low, especially with racing this morning. I wasn't sure how much energy I was going to have left in my legs. Plus some of the younger kids, yes, I could say younger kids, being 41, like I knew, well, I thought I couldn't beat, so I wasn't going to just like turn and burn and hurt myself too much. So that was sort of the thought going in, especially the one kid that I know I couldn't, well, I thought I couldn't beat. So I just had my expectations a little bit lower than I probably normally would. But as we started, there was a quick little scramble of us. We'll say maybe 8-10 people out the gate, took off. Well, I actually started in like the second or third row, so I didn't want to get mixed up, because I was just like, let these young kids go and do their thing, and they could turn and burn, and I'll just hang back and get the Masters, whatever. But I actually felt pretty good. I was kind of shocked at how good I felt, so I went with it. And then a couple of tenths in, if that, found myself in second place. I was kind of shocked at that. I was actually really shocked at that I was second place so early on with how I felt. I was like, oh, we're just gonna ride this wave till it, you know, crashes down and I can't run it anymore. So it was like me and then Colton, who took off really fast. He probably had between 5 and 10 seconds on me, and that was just, a lot of it had to do with him being in the front row and taking off right away, where I was in the, you know, second or third row, hanging back a little bit. But me and him, well, the gap between me and him stayed pretty much the same for a little over a mile, maybe a mile and a half. The one last little, what I want to call like bump up, little gradual hill or whatever it is, that's when I closed in a second or so there, and then I gradually reeled him in a little bit from there until, well, if you know the course, it's easier to explain if you know the course, but we're running on a backcountry road for the first 2 miles before we actually hit the Ghost Town Trail. And then right before we do this little, I think backwards S is the way to say it, to get on it, I was like right on him, finally caught up to him, which was, I was shocked at that. Just figured he was out of shape. And I was looking back, there was nobody in, like, close to me in third place. I might have had 30 seconds from third place at that point. I'm like, all right, so this is a 2-man race from here on out. It's like, just don't do nothing stupid, we can maintain a top 2 spot. And as we hit the Ghost Town Trail, I splashed water on myself. I took 2 cups, splashed water on myself. Felt instantly relieved. And then maybe a couple of tenths after that, I caught Colton and passed him. And I was just riding the wave. I was like, all right, anytime he's going to pass me, or I'm gonna fade. But I kept looking at my watch. It was running pretty good. And I also kept mixing through different songs on my MP3 player because I needed something more upbeat to keep me going, and that definitely helped me today. The MP3 player. So I was doing that. I'm trying to think. And then I was gapping Colton a little bit. I felt pretty confident then because the way I was feeling and the way I was running, and I was in a groove, and I felt like I could maintain it pretty thoroughly, I guess. I felt like I could maintain it. I was trying to take out the tangents a little bit, and I just kept watching, the tenths tick off my watch every once in a while. I'm like, all right, make it to 3.5 miles, make it to 4, then we'll be good. We'll see what happens. I did have to switch back and forth a couple of times because there were some bikers on the trail, but I was still feeling pretty good at like 3.5. I was like, man, you gonna fade or not today? I was like, this is kind of shocking that you're running basically sub 6s after this morning's race, and you're still being able to maintain sub 6s, which, let's be honest, I really don't ever maintain sub 6s. I think at least the first 3 miles were sub 6s, I believe. I don't know what the fourth one was. I didn't look, but I know they were like all like 555, 556 range types sub 6s. So not like terribly low into the 5s, but sub 6s nonetheless. I was like, wow, this is awesome. I was like, can't believe you're actually being able to do this. So then I looked back a few times, like 3.5, like 3.8. I'm like, all right, I got a nice little gap going on. And then at like mile 4, I'm like, all right. I was like, we got this race. I was like, got a little comfortable there at like mile 4. I did start choking a little bit because I think my body finally switched to the reserves from whatever was in my stomach, which was a pancake that I had at like 4 o'clock just for some carbs. So I probably didn't have enough in my stomach, but even the pace that I was maintaining at, I was like, all right, so we're choking a little bit. I recovered very quickly off of that, more so than I normally do, and I'm like, all right, maybe this is my day, whatever. And I'm looking back, 4.1, 4.2, I'm like, all right, we got this race. And then all of a sudden, the kid who won, like, passed me, and I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, where the hell did he come from? Like, out of nowhere, this kid, well, okay, so maybe like a 10th before that, like, I thought Colton closed the gap a little bit, or kicked, and I'm like, all right, whatever. I still got a nice, couple seconds, but I should have paid attention a little bit more, because the kid who won, Lucas, really nice kid, by the way. Anyway, he just like passed me, and I could just feel his energy like as he surged past me. I'm like, ah, shit. It was like too late for me to do anything or even try to kick myself, because by the time I would have tried to kick in, he was already like 2-3 seconds ahead of me. Just like realizing I was, getting past. And it was just too late, because we had less than a 10th of a mile to go. Maybe even 0.05 to go when he passed me, and I'm like, oh shit. Like, because if I would have saw him coming, I might have been able to do something a little bit earlier, like kick or put down, the hammer a little bit more. But I did get a little relaxed, but also didn't want to blow myself up too early. And I was trying to reserve my kick if need be, but I just never got to engage it for the second time today. Never got to engage it. Yeah, so he passed me, and I'm like, oh shit, my race is over now, second place. Just because it was such a short distance, there was nothing for me to do. More power to him. Like, I congratulate him. That was like an awesome race performance. It just like caught me off guard that last couple of tenths. And I screwed up, but whatever. Still had fun. I enjoyed it. And like I said, I'm happy because I think I PR'd. I have to look again. Well, I didn't get to look yet, but I'm going to have to look tonight and see exactly what my times were from previous races on this course, but it has to be a PR. It just has to be, because I don't picture myself being able to put down a 25, whatever whatever it was, 53, anytime in the past, unless I went out way too fast in the first mile or two, where I was in like low fives, so I had some time to play with the last couple miles. But really highly doubt that. I just felt good and was riding a wave today. So yeah, I finished second. It was just one of those shocking moments. Like, I'm not disappointed or mad about it. It was just like, oh shit. It was like, where'd it come from? Like, it'd be like somebody passing you on the highway doing like 100 miles an hour when you're doing like 50. You're like, oh, where the hell did he come from? But he was a college runner, so definitely wouldn't have been able to beat him if we were like neck and neck. Got my dilly bar, ice cream at the end. Talked to some more people after I finished it. Got some clips as well, so definitely had a fun race. Wish I would have won, but realistically, talking to the winner, like, he hung back a lot first half of the race. Like I said, he made up, I would say, 30 plus seconds between mile 2 and 4, so he was definitely, you know, holding back early on. So if he was going full on earlier on, he would have been out in front, and it would have made a different race strategy for me earlier in the race, because I would have hung back a little bit onto my masters more than trying to get out of front and take the lead. So good race experience, man. Just something about it, like, I got that like runner's high, like euphoria just from like how I performed today, which is just shocking to me. I don't know, it's just weird. Don't know how to really explain it, but I'll take it. Good race by the Indiana Road Runners. So, yeah, nice local race too, because it's only like 10 minutes from my house. So, whatever. That's my race recap.